Welcome back and welcome to our sixth episode of Make Dream Happen. How are you today, Minnie? Welcome back.
Thank you. I'm doing really well. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. How was your week, by the way?
Very good. It was a very good week. Got a lot done. I just wanted to thank everybody for last week, and actually all of the support you guys have given us lately. Lots of comments, and we really enjoy it if you guys would like it, subscribe, and pass it on to your friends. We'd really like to help more people. So we're here for.
Yeah, that's the idea that this podcast like try to motivate everybody that is watching us. And when you subscribe and you keep the like button, you are helping us to get to more people and reach out more people, and that's awesome. So and the last episode was really good too. We
Yeah.
miss you, but it was really good. And what we have for today?
So today I wanted to talk to us about something that actually I'm having a little trouble with, and I just wanted to talk to other people, see how they were doing with this. So there's a lot going on in the world, not so good stuff, and I have trouble separating what I feel is reality and what spiritually I know will overcome it. Um, so I was just wanted to talk about ways to keep yourself centered, keep yourself away from getting dragged into all of the issues that are going on in our world right now. It's terrifying at some of it, and I try and clear my head of that because it can really ruin your day sometimes.
Yeah, those like can those the what is happening in the world, what is you watching in the media, where you watch in the TVs or Facebook's, Instagram, something most of those feed that you see in Instagram and Facebook are mostly negative, and that affect your day and that affect your emotionally and your well-being. So I understand what you're saying because there's how you say before there's a lot of things happening around the world. So when you like feed yourself just with negative thing and negative thing, and that way make you see the universe as a like this universe, but it's not.
I was this past week. I was in my truck eating lunch and listening to a podcast, which I really do like. I
You like this one too?
of course I love this one, but it's a political. They talk a lot about politics, but I'm eating lunch and I can feel like I don't know if it's anger or angst or whatever, but I'm about halfway through my lunch and I'm upset. I can feel it. So I'm like, it's what I'm listening to. It's not just what I'm eating, it's what I'm consuming as far as, so I had to actually shut it off. And I haven't actually listened to the podcast since. So I think some of that I really have to start editing out of my life. Because I don't think I realized how much of it first I'm consuming, and second how much I'm internalizing it, and then I wonder how much of it is coming back out of me. And I didn't like that feeling, and I know that there's bigger and better things in this world. There's other powers that are in place, and we feel helpless. We feel like all you have to do is watch that news for 5 minutes, and you're just scared and worried all the time. Well, we shouldn't be. There's something else there. There's someone else there. They're allowing this to happen for a reason. But I have trouble keeping that in mind sometimes.
Yeah, it's because it's like how I said. The news we are being programmed since little to like just expect back news and watch back news. You see, the news are always about back news. It's nothing. They focus on what is wrong in the world instead what is good in the world. And the world is like the universe has a lot of beautiful things for us. There's a lot of things happening around the world that are not just like negative. It's not just war, politics. There's a lot of things going on. So there's is something that you're saying that because I'm from Nicaragua, And last couple 5 years in Nicaragua, the news have been constant about what is happening in the
We
country.
share that with each other sometimes.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that are happening over there, and that is true. I live in the United States. I don't live anymore. There's something to like.
Your family all
Yeah,
still
my
lives there.
family is over there, and when you are like watching or when you're looking through on your phone all bad things, that like kept you upset. And what I choose to like to do is like I delete all the feeds of news in my country. I try to be I don't try to look those news, or I don't try to like listen about that. And that doesn't mean that I don't care what is happening in my country, but I'm trying to keep my mind clean from all those negative things that are happening, because when you are looking through those negative things, those news, you're putting more energy to that, and you're giving more like you're giving that, you're passing that energy to that situation, and never it's gonna get better. For that reason that I don't like, I don't I don't watch news, I don't listen news. And every time that I spoke with my mom and I said, where do you live? You haven't listened this, or you haven't watched that? And I said, no, because that's not my main focus. I always try to focus in what is happening good around the world, what is like a new achievement for like science or for like a student or something like that, because that's help you. But if you focus and what is wrong with the world, you're gonna get always
For whatever
upset.
reason, that has the strongest voice, the
Yes.
violence and everything else. Our fans and our subscribers, I'm giving you a challenge. Go look at your or not Instagram, Netflix, your Hulu, whatever it is that you're subscribed to, and look at what's in there and count the first 3 lines. How much of it is about death, killing,
Murder.
harm of children, just really things we shouldn't be consuming, but we do. Some of them are top rated shows. I noticed it a couple weeks ago, and I was looking for something to watch, and I wasn't feeling so hot. I just was like kind of in my own feelings, and um, I wanted something upbeat, but everything I was looking at was murder, mayhem, destruction, and some evil things that I feel are evil. And I just started. I really kind of am trying to pay attention to those things and consuming those in my life, because they really have an effect on me. It even if it's a good day for me, all it takes is something, and a lot of times it's an opinion from either a newscaster or it's a show, and that throws everything off in my day. And I don't want that in my life anymore. I really don't. I'm glad I'm starting to be aware of it, and then I can push it away from things, because I have a really good life.
Yeah.
I really do. I have a home. I have you in my life. I have my family in my life. I have a good job. The things you're supposed to be thankful for. I can cook some food. I've got that. I have all the basics. Do you want more? Of course, everybody wants more, but I'm happy with my life. And ingesting that stuff makes you not appreciate what you actually have. It makes you start to focus on how evil things are, how angry things are, and it really consumes a part of me that I don't want anymore.
Yeah, I start when you said when you be grateful for what we have, that's the most important. The gratitude is this the best thing that we can have. And every morning say thank you for a new day. Thank you, God, because I had a roof, I had a play in my table, I had a job. But I think what we say, we have been programmed to like just to watch like negative thing, and always to expect
Exactly.
negative thing in our life. We always worrying about the future. Oh, what is this happen? What is this doesn't go in the way that I want? So, and that gives you how to say
Anxiety.
anxiety. And that's the anxiety. That's the reason for mostly of the American
Agreed.
suffer anxiety, because we are also worried what is going to happen in the future, and we always expecting the worst. Why? It's because what we watch in our screen, there's a lot of like also podcasts about negative thing, about murders and about like mayhem, how do you say, and that's affect us, and that start like getting in our head, and that's the way that we're gonna start thinking, and that's what we attracting to, because that's our top.
Really is. And I don't, until recently, I had not realized how heavy that is on my soul, on my body, in my head. Just it's a lot that you don't want to take in. And me personally, if you like it, then feel free. I just have noticed when I don't watch it, when I don't listen to those things, I feel like a better person. I have a funny story that kind of plays into that. So my brothers live in New York. They have camps that are back to back up in northern New York. And during COVID, they, instead of saying where they were, they went up to camp. So it's a pretty big compound. You know, my brother, my older brother, has a camp. It's a fairly large piece of property, and there's all of their friends have campers all over the camp, and they have one big tractor trailer that they turned into a kitchen, so everybody comes in together and has breakfast and lunch and that sort of thing. And then my younger brother on the other side of this hill has a cabin over there, so that it's a very communal space, and everyone went up there because the world was crazy at the time with COVID, so
Yeah.
we could hang out with our family. We have a very big family and lots of friends. So what they had decided to do with one of the with my sister-in-law's brother wanted to put an addition, a wood deck on his camper. It's huge, it's very big. So they got I forget what they are. I want to say Mormons. They're not Mormons.
I don't know.
I know people that wear black hats and
I had the
only use horses. What the heck are they called?
Hamish,
The Amish. That's it. Sorry.
and I'm not from New York.
I know. So congratulations.
You should know better than
I
me.
should. But anyway, so they hired an Amish group to build this.
Mm.
So they came in and they built this beautiful deck. It's probably a hurricane wouldn't take it out. But my oldest brother, was telling us this story when we were in New York last summer. They asked the guy, one of the Amish guys, they're like, "How are you dealing with COVID?" And they're like, "What's COVID?" They weren't dealing with it because they don't have television, they don't have radio. It wasn't affecting them, and I just that stuck in my head, like, not that you should be ignorant of what's going on in the world, but they weren't internalizing it like we were. I mean, we still are suffering consequences of some of the things that we did during that. So
the world has changed after COVID too.
So much has changed. I just thought that was a great period. It was just very interesting. Here's people kind of look down on them like, "Oh, you only drive around with horses," but they were probably some of the happiest people during COVID because they weren't dealing with it all the time in their head and worried, and they were just living their life.
Yeah, they were not feeding, or they don't feed themselves with all the negative things that are happening around the world and what the media is putting in our head. And it's how to say. I think I think it's the third time that I'm gonna say this. I think it would be programmed to just watch negative thing and see the situation or the circumstance in a negative way. It's like what we say in like 3 episodes ago, the failure. We think the failure always is bad. We don't think the failure is an opportunity to grow. So it's for the reason that we have like to start like I don't say don't watch the news, because you said before, yeah, it's good to know what is happening in the world, but don't let that affect your daily day. Don't let that affect your life too, and don't watch that the whole day. try
I think we need to make better choices in what we decide to consume as far as entertainment, and that really would be my message, is be aware of what you're taking into your life, into your house, into your even music. We talked about a certain female artist that the song is great that she put out, but the video is, it's dark. It's really dark. And then when you listen to the song itself and you put them together, it's not such a good song anymore. You know who I'm talking
yeah.
about. Just those sorts of things. And I mean, maybe I'm being paranoid, but those things affect me. I feel like I'm ingesting something that I shouldn't. Not necessarily a poison, but maybe, spoiled milk, something, something that's going to make your stomach really. That is true. That's how I feel. Like my stomach is upset when those things, when I realize this isn't what you need to be looking at. This isn't what you need to be bringing into your life. So that was something I wanted to talk about today, and I don't know if anybody that's watching has these same concerns or things that are going on.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that I think think in the way that we think, and so it's you like don't think in the same way. But it's okay. But how do I say before? We are what we think. We are what it is or on mind, and we attract what we're thinking. And when
Yes.
we are just consuming like negative things, when we are just watching what is wrong with the word instead to focus on see what is good in the word. So like that affect us. So it's how to say before. I always try to like don't watch the news and don't watch. I don't have like news feeds in my social media because I don't want to like feed myself with all that negative thing.
Sometimes they pop in there.
Yeah,
Like
it's
I will have
sometimes.
stuff that comes in, and I don't want to look at it. It's scroll up or block or whatever, because you can be like, oh look, kittens, oh they're so, oh, it really has that effect on you. I have an interesting. I do watch a lot more news than I probably should. No,
I
than
know.
I definitely should. So when a certain something happened in the Middle East recently, it made me like, I looked at it from a human aspect from both sides. I don't want anyone being murdered. I don't want anybody being injured. So I literally sat down and had a conversation with God, that I was hoping that He could still people's hands. And, hopefully this doesn't have to happen anymore. And, but then I continue to listen to the news, and one side gets this, one side gets that one. And I feel myself being angry at one side or the other. And that's not, it goes against exactly what I was talking to God about. I have become what I don't want to become. So if something like that comes on, I try not to listen to it. I don't want to know. Um, so I really have to be, again, I have to be very aware of what I'm consuming as far as media goes, news. Um, I don't want to ingest that stuff. It's awful, and somebody else can take care of this. That's higher than us. That's more important than us, and knows better than us.
Yeah, I always think that how to say I'm a firm believing in God and believer in God, and I think prayers help a lot. Also, like to send that energy and around the world, like pray about what is happening. Pray also for to God and leave everything to the universe and leave everything to God. So now that we're talking about prayer and how to like don't focus in the back thing. So I don't know how you say it, Madre Teresa in English is
Mother Teresa.
Mother Teresa. How do you say it in English?
Mother Teresa.
Mother Teresa. So she's a big example of her. So I was reading the other day that some somebody invite her to go to this kind of like parades against the world,
Mm-hmm.
against war, something like that.
War.
Yeah, war. So and she say, no, I won't go. I won't be part of that. And say, and the person that was the organization that was inviting her will say, why is your like peace, your loves? No, when you invite me to a pro love parade, I will go, because you are, this parade is like is anti word. You're putting that energy to the word
against.
yeah, against. But when you invite me to a pro love parade, I will go, because we are focusing in love, and that's the clearest example that where you put your focus is when you bring in your energy, and it's you always like thinking that everything is bad on the world, and you're thinking that this person is gonna do something against you, or what you're gonna do is gonna, oh, if I do this, it's gonna go in the wrong way or something like that. Guess what? You're attracting that energy to you, and that's gonna happen to you. So it's for that reason that,
or you'll surround yourself with that.
yeah,
You need to feed that monster.
exactly. So, and it's how we've been saying. So you have to focus and the good thing. You, or like, I don't know, like watch music that make you feel better, or pray to God, and like, and leave everything to the universe.
Silence is okay too.
Yeah, listen to yourself, be present, like, and like Preston was saying last episode, just listen to yourself, and let your and listen to your intuition too.
I do not have any children. I never had any kids.
I don't have it.
It's kind of a, I wish I had, but I didn't. But I think about the world and what's going on, and how would I be as a parent if I had to every day consume this stuff, and I have these small beings that I have to feed and house and watch out for, and terrified I think most parents must be at just sending your children to their daily activities. With if you watch the news, you'd be terrified every day that your child got on a bus, or I would be. I guess on some level I got lucky in that way that I don't have that fear. But I mean, I'm sad I didn't have any kids. I probably would have liked some.
I bet. So that, yes, another example that I can give you about that too is like, I remember when I was like in high school, and I was going to I was preparing myself to go to college and see where I was going, where city I was going to college. Leon is a city that is like 45 minutes from I live, and then Managua is the capital. So, and when you're not from the capital and you're from the other cities, you think the capital is the worst place to go or to live, because the news that you watch is like Robert, somebody killed this person. You only see bad thing about the about the city, what is happening over there. And I was like, remember that I told my mom I want to go, the university that I want to go is in Managua, and my mom was like freaking out. No, that city is dangerous. That something's gonna rob you, and blah, blah, blah. And she was in her mind. She was putting that like that, and she was creating this movie that was going to happen. And I fed myself with that fear that my mom like was saying. But to the end, I went to the city, and the first month I was terrified.
Right.
I was like, I didn't like. I was my routine was from college to my place, from my, and then you start like making friends and all the stuff, and then your friend, oh, you want to go to a party, or, and I was like, no. No, no, because I'm afraid that somebody like robbed me, or something happened is gonna happen to me. And I always have that thought, that feeling, that fear, that fear didn't let me to grow in the university. Then didn't let me like to make more friends, or more social. So in like the first semester, it's like semester end, I was like, no, I want to go to Leon. But it was like,
I didn't realize you left Managua to go.
Yeah, I went to Leon, and so, but at that point, nothing happened to me, never.
But you were expecting
But
it.
I was expecting there was something was going to happen to me, and well, that's when you're like feeding yourself with fears, and like fears like stop you to do what you want, and fears sometimes don't let you like to discover yourself and doesn't let you to do. And all that thing also comes from what you're watching in the TV and what is your surrender.
I mean, that some of it's irrational. Some of
Mm-hmm.
it is legitimate. That you should be aware. And you're in a big city. We're in a big city. We're the fifth largest city. At certain parts in this city, I am very aware of my surroundings. Other parts, I'm okay, but I feel it when I'm in certain parts of the city. Ding ding ding. Start paying attention, looking around. That's not fear. That's just being smart. But to what you were saying, you were fed all this stuff from family and friends, and some of that might have been irrational. I've done that myself. So,
Yeah, sometimes like we create like us that movie in our mind. There's something that we are afraid or scared of something that probably never is gonna happen to you, but you already like thinking about it because you watched that in the
it's
TV,
consuming you.
or because somebody said that to you, and so you are like feeling that fear, and that fear also affect your life, and also like that leave you to a stress, and to be anxiety,
You have anxiety and you're
anxiety too,
anxious.
anxious, and those all the things affect your mental health.
So you're focused on things that don't matter when you could be focused on good things, or helping others, or just moving forward with your own life, bettering yourself. But you're just fighting all these little demons that aren't real. So
Yeah, and you forgot so that sometimes you forgot also, or you forget about what you had in that moment. Because believe me, I went to that university. That university doesn't exist in my country anymore from some reason that are happening over there. But sorry, but that university was the best private university in Nicaragua, and I I was grateful to be in. I forget that I was in the best private university in
in
Nicaragua,
Managua.
in Managua. Yes,
Okay.
because I was always scared. I always like I didn't enjoy the semester that I was in that university because I was scared.
You couldn't be present because you
You
were
know,
afraid.
yes, and I was scared about the people that were around me and something like that. So yeah, it is like something that we had to be like try to like teens to see things in with different perspective.
Yeah.
Something when you see things in with different perspective, you whole like change.
So when I decided to go into the military, I weighed like 113 pounds. I'm not much taller than I am right now. My voice had just changed. It still hasn't changed all the way, but uh, I was terrified. But I felt like I needed to get out of the city I was from. So I I just thought, they were going to beat you up every single day and da 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 da. Not that boot camp wasn't difficult. It was. It's more of a mental game than it is a physical game. But I had all these fears and ideas in my head, and when I got there, they weren't there, and I excelled. I my first week was rough. The first week's always rough. They're just playing all kinds of games in your head, and you think you're doing okay. I got a funny story if you want to hear it. So I tried to be proactive. So we had, you got, I don't know, 35 guys, 40 guys that are trying to get ready in the morning. And I have a kind of a heavy beard, and I've always had one. So I thought, well, I'll shave it. I took a shower in the evening, and I'll shave, and then I won't have to fight these guys to get in there and shave. So we have a lineup. You got your helmet on, and there's a chin strap that kind of sits like this, so it comes down and it sits like that on your chin.
Mhm.
So of course, it's highlighting the stubble that has already started to grow. I think this is the first or second week. So I'm a little person, so it's like all these tall guys, me, and all these tall guys, and I have a drill sergeant. He is this enormous black dude. I mean, he's like just huge, and I was afraid of him. So he's walking down there, and he looks at me, and I knew as soon as he looked at me, I was in trouble. So he asked me, "Did you shave?" And I said, "Yes, drill sergeant." He goes, "When did you shave?" And then I was like, "Oh no." I said, "Last night, drill sergeant." He grabbed the strap of my Kevlar and pulled it because he was going to pull me out of line. Well, it didn't break. You've got to snap. Normally, anytime that thing is going to snap. Well, he grabbed it and like yanked my head, and then it came off and he chucked it. I swear it was like a mile. He's like, low crawl to get that, and next time shave. That was probably the worst of it. But that's what I thought all of boot camp was going to be, and it wasn't. You get through your first 2 weeks, and then it's learn, 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 learn. But I was afraid. I was terrified.
You were thinking that I was going
that
to...
was going to be every day in boot camp. I knew better than to shave the night before. Some of those guys got away with it. Like they had 1 hair, 2 hairs for the entire time they were in boot camp. They were like, shave, that's it. Not me. So
that's good.
it was an irrational fear. I didn't know what was going on, but I had been told all these horror stories, and yeah, it was bad. It's boot camp. It's supposed to be bad, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
It's like sometimes I think if we as a human we need to start learning to see the world in different perspective and start thinking that everything is good. I like to talk about this. When the first time that I went to Nicaragua and I moved here, something was happening in my country. It was a political, and it wasn't the best time to go to my country. So, and I heard like a lot of people, oh, don't go there. It's gonna dangerous. It's dangerous right now. You blah blah blah. And so, and I went because at that point I haven't seen my mom in 4 years, so I need to go. And I went there, and I don't know, maybe because I didn't pay attention what was happening around the world, around that time in my country, I had a blast. And for me, everything was normal. So, because I didn't put attention to what is happening over there, and my how to say, all the attention that I was putting in was to have a good time with my family, enjoy my mom, my father, my sister, and had a good time with it. And I did. And then I came back, and then I had another friend that he went to Nicaragua like 2 months after I went to Nicaragua. And because he went to Nicaragua thinking that all the things that are happening over there political that doesn't affect when he came back, he was saying like horrible. It was uncomfortable. You can feel the heavy environment in the country, something like that. That's weird because I didn't feel that when I went there.
Your focus was your family.
Yeah, for me it was everything okay. And I know there was something happening over there, but that didn't affect me because my main focus and my the way that I was seeing things, it was like just be my family enjoy the time.
Exactly.
But when you go to them with that mentality and your perspectives is just like to see all the negative things that are happening, that's what you're gonna see.
Looking for it.
You're looking for, and that's you're gonna have, and that's the experience that you're gonna have. Everything is gonna be negative. So because as a human, we don't like to be wrong.
No.
So we don't like to be wrong. And so we look the way to what we were creating in our mind and what we're expecting happen. And so, and you looking always trying to see and what is happening, what is back. He told me, I saw in every corner was a police officer in Nicaragua, and I was like, I saw a couple police, but I didn't see as much he saw when he went to my country. I had a blast, honestly.
You were a little nervous going into the country with your passports, but once you got past that point when you were talking to me, everything was good.
Yeah. So then the second time that I went, because people were saying me, "Oh, you're gonna have problem because
You're American.
you're not an American citizen." Blah blah blah. And it was I didn't have any problem when I went there. Like
Walk right in.
I just passed and everything was fine. And but when you go to the mentality, when you go with that idea and your mind is thinking that everything is gonna happen, that's gonna happen. So it's for the reason that I believe that we are what we think. So it's you're always thinking and you are feeding yourself with all those negative things that didn't happen around the world. That's gonna affect your life, and that's the way that you're gonna live.
It is, and I, as a person, need to pay more attention, and I really am starting to really look at what I'm taking in visually, sound, what I'm reading. I am at a point in my life where I don't want to feel that way anymore. I don't want that pit in my stomach that everything is always bad, everything is always bad, because it's not. I wake up every day and I don't have any terminal diseases. I can walk, I can run. I have a vehicle. I can go anywhere I want to.
You have a place where to live.
Exactly. And I'm trying to focus on those things instead of, oh, this is the whatever it is. It's the horrible thing that's going on in the day. I try to keep that forefront that you could have it a lot worse, buddy.
Yeah, there's people that are like living worse than you, so you have to be
people dealing with horrible diseases, families that are dealing with those things. I don't have that. Luckily, I don't have that in my life. My mom is still with us. I have brothers, sisters. I have a niece I have several nieces that just had babies this year. Our family is growing. There's already too many of us, but you have to be thankful for those things instead of focusing on all of this other stuff that honestly does not affect you.
Yeah. So you have to be thankful for what you had, and I always see this like in this way. My father used to say this: you need to be thankful with everybody. When you're thankful, is somebody make you a favor, and you're like thankful, like saying, "Oh, thank you," and you how to say reciprocate
Mm-hmm.
with to that person. That person, the next time that you ask for another favor, they's gonna say yes. Of
Right.
course, I can help you. You're so thankful. You're like really nice, and you really appreciate what I did for you. But when somebody make a favor to you, and you're like, don't say even thank you, then the
That's
next
hurtful.
time, yeah, the next time that you ask a favor to that person will be like, I don't know. So
you didn't even recognize that.
yeah,
I
I
was
don't even
trying to.
recognize it. And I think it is the same way with the universe and God. What with God is you're like thankful for what you got. God is gonna say, you're thankful. So you know what? I'm gonna give you this because you're grateful and you're happy where you have. You deserve that. And when you're not thankful for what you had, so you're gonna be like complaining all the time. Because you're not seeing what you had. So the universe and God, it will say, you know what? You're
Well, even just yesterday, we were out. You were looking for a new apartment.
mm-hmm. Yay! I found an apartment yesterday.
It's a nice apartment. But we were looking at one place, and there was a family from California there, and their son had just gotten a promotion. Yeah, promotion. So they were looking at, and they were ahead of us. He had an appointment, and they had come in, and there's only one person in there, so she was going to ask them to kind of wait until she'd walked us through. And I was like, you can walk with us, and they were like, really? They were very thankful that, we weren't just going to push them aside. And we actually got, like, he was looking at it, but I got to talk to the mom, and we actually had a really good, funny conversation for like 10 minutes. So it was good. Like, that was a great human interaction. It was just being kind. There was no point in us saying, no, you can't go. We're only going. So little things like that make a huge difference. I got to meet this very funny woman, and she told me all about her son, and we got to talk to them and say, hey, don't keep him away from this part of the city and be safe here. And she was thankful for it, and it was a good time.
Yeah, so we did that, and then now that you're saying that, we were looking for I was looking for an apartment, so
On a budget.
yeah, so and we went to two different places, and that I did an appointment for that I had an
And you
appointment.
liked that one, but it was
Yeah,
not in the
so and
budget.
they wasn't in a budget, but we drove by this complex apartment, and he said, hey, let's stop over there, like, and that was before, that was when
You
we
were
already,
headed to the second.
yeah, we already practically, we were done with our like apartment hunting. So, and we passed for that one, and said, let's stop by this one. And I didn't, that was the first time that I saw that place, and we stopped by, and I don't know, I think the universe was guiding me or guiding me to the end. That was the apartment that I'm gonna be moving in, and it's perfect with my budget, and the place is nice, close to work.
Guy
And
that helped you was super funny and
yeah, the
nice.
guy that was like the agent was super nice and super funny, and so it's like it was turned out really good. And I was, you said when we left, that was the universe guiding you,
And
and
it may not have been. We don't know.
no, I think so, yes.
But that's how I believe it too.
I
Some
think
others might say, oh, that's just ridiculous. And that's okay. However, what we got was we got that little interaction, that human interaction with people, and there was nothing attached to it except this was fun. I liked this woman and I liked her family. It was 10 minutes of getting to know another human being. And, there wasn't tension, there wasn't anything. It was just, hey, how are you, human being? I'm a human being too.
yeah, so then we had to be like, I think we had to be like that with each other. We need to be kind with everybody and spread love to everybody. So, and
Or at least
leave,
respect, right?
yeah, respect, be kind, and leave that ego aside, because the ego is the one who like also like stop you to be happy or be nice with other people. So it's like the life. I think life is not that serious, and we came to this world to be, to enjoy, to have fun, and be nice with each other. That's what God said, and that's why he that was the message that God gave us when He was here.
I agree. And it's this was a good talk. I'm really glad you thought this was. I came up with this one. It had been bothering me since, I don't know. You had your thing last week with Preston, and then I talked to you, I think, on Monday, and I said I have a topic I want to talk about because it was bothering me. It had happened where I was consuming stuff I probably shouldn't have been.
It's like, I think it's bothered everybody, because my he's getting better. But before, when I used to talk to him and I was like, "How are you doing, father? This situation here in the country, blah blah blah," and I was like, "Don't watch the news." And he's like, "Oh, that's the only thing that they play here in the channels. So don't watch those channels. So
Right.
be thankful for what you have. You're a retirement, so just trying to do like things that keep you away from what is happening in Nicaragua. Enjoy the
What you've
family."
earned.
So, and I think I think he was like 4 months ago. Because he get worried. He's already retired. All his children are already grown up, so he doesn't have to worry for anybody else. But I will say, he's always worried for his children's all the stuff. But he he was paying attention. He was paying attention too much
attention to that.
too much attention to what is happening in the country. So,
And we don't have any control over it.
Yeah.
I think that's what kind of feeds into that fear and that angst is you don't have any control over changing that direction. And all it is negative, 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 negative. And you start to feel like this is happening to you. And that's fearful because we want to have some control in our lives. Well, some of that control comes from you going and turning it off.
Yeah, exactly. So don't let that circumstance control you. So and like 3 months ago, 4 months ago, he never had like a blood pressure problem. So and all of a sudden he was having the problem, and he went to the doctor and said that's a stress.
Mm-hmm.
And the doctor asked him what's happened with you, where you having, especially now in your age, so you don't have to be like stressing. He said, oh, for the news, what is happening in the country, like made me upset, and the doctor said like stop doing that, and I was like, I told you before, stop doing that. So and now he's like, he's not paying too much attention. He's traveling more, so
Yeah.
he was in Miami with my nephew and and my sister, and he was having a really good
The
time.
whole family was pretty much there,
Mhm.
right?
So it's for a reason that I say just try to enjoy this moment with your family, enjoy your moment with yourself. Go for a walk and
Look around.
and appreciate how beautiful is the universe, how wonderful is God to create all this beautiful world, the trees, the animals. So just be grateful and try to see things in different perspectives, and you will see that your life is gonna be start changing. So remember that we are what we talk.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna start doing that every time that we had a guest that I had a guest in my podcast. I'm gonna ask 2 questions. And I'm gonna ask it to you. I asked this question to Preston last episode. Is you had the opportunity to be a president of the universe for one day?
The universe.
Yes, a president of the universe for one day, and you had to create a law that is gonna remain for life.
Does that be a law, or could it be something for the people?
A law. What is gonna be that law?
I don't know if this is possible, but I would put a law in that for one day out of every citizen, every human being's life, they need to know real happiness. Because there's people out there that don't know. They're so. I work with a man, and I feel bad for him. He's angry all the time. I don't think he has joy in his life. And I think about him when I was going to answer that question is I would like everyone to have at least one day of pure happiness in their life, to appreciate everything that they've had and are going to have. And I don't know if you can make a law about that. I wish we could, but that's what I would do.
That's nice. That's good. I think we should have at least one day of happiness.
I think God tries to make us have that one day. So I guess there's a law for it.
Yeah. So and the last question is gonna be, when was the last time that you did something for first time?
First time.
The last time that you did something for first time.
It's a good question.
I forgot to ask that to Preston last.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of something. Something simple at work. I mean,
no, in your life. It'll be
in my life.
Just in general.
Recently?
Yeah, I don't know. When's the last time that you did something for the first time? Okay, I'm gonna tell you mine.
Can I do it? I think I got it.
All right, go ahead.
So I went through a relationship change, a very long-term relationship, and it was tough, but I moved out on my own. I hadn't lived by myself in close to 20 years. And I had to figure everything else out. You know, I got to actually pick what I wanted for groceries, what the towels were going to look like, what I wanted to put on my bed. It was a renewing of who I was. I got to be myself again. I didn't have to be us. and it took me a little while. We discussed this, that I always said us, and I don't think I say it as much as I
That's
used
good.
to.
Yeah.
So I guess renewing my stuff would be kind of what I did. It's been hard, but
Good.
I've liked it too. So
Yeah. So, and I will say in my case is the podcast.
yeah,
That's the first. That's the thing that I do for
it
first
definitely
time.
makes you happy.
It made me happy too. It's for the reason that like leave that fear. I sometimes be to get out our comfort zone. Is not the at the moment is not the funniest thing.
It's that first step that always
It's the
hurts.
first time that it's hard, but then you're gonna enjoy it. So, but oh yeah,
We have a bunch of cool stuff that's gonna come. We're gonna take a trip in July.
Kansas.
We're going to Kansas, and we're gonna do a podcast there. And we have some kind of cool guests that
Mhm.
I hope you guys like. I need to get hold of my friend Diana.
We're still waiting for that.
Diana came from Ecuador, had a similar situation
Mhm.
like you. She didn't speak English, but she now has her own. She's very successful. She put it out there that I want a husband that is good to me. And Diana's really, really strong. She's a very strong woman, so it's going to take a very strong man to be her husband. And she found him, and they're doing so well. And she has a great story that I would like.
Yeah, I would like to.
She is an amazing person. She's crazy.
We all are crazy.
We love her because she's crazy, but I can't wait to bring her to you guys and let you meet her and see just how this is a person that came from zero and is in a generation has been so successful, and she's got a daughter that's going to be even more successful. But those two things are coming, and we're working on some other stuff. You have another guest that
we're gonna have a guest next week, and I'm super happy for
He
this
has
one.
an amazing story too.
Yeah, he has an amazing story to tell to everybody. So, and it's a real story to motivate us and motivate everybody here. But I'm super excited. So, thank you for this conversation.
Thank you for talking with me about it. I'm glad.
Thank you for listening to us and watching us on YouTube or Spotify. I'm super happy for this, what we're doing, and I think that's the way to serve the people around the world and motivate people. So, and
it's nice talking with the people.
Yeah, it's always nice to talk, hear from people like us, normal people, what is happening around the world. So, and I'm so thankful. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe.
Like button.
Like the like button.
And please share it with your family and friends and neighbors and the guy you see on the street. Anybody.
All right. Thank you guys.
We enjoyed it.
Yeah, and we'll